Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law. Where's your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You're going to help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I don't need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's the order of the court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
The matter of Tiffany and Joseph Gardner versus Sarah McGee. I understand you're suing, the Gardners are suing Miss McGee for $1,000, which is the cost of a cell phone that was stolen, taken by the teacher and later stolen. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Gardner, I'm gonna let Tiffany take this. You can have a seat.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to start at the beginning. Miss Tiffany, tell me what's the problem here with you and Ms. McGee?
Well, I'm in the after-school program for kids who are seniors getting ready for college, and I don't know what it is, but since the very first day, she's had an attitude with me.
Okay, explain it.
Well,
Give me some examples.
She's always picking on us, us as in me and the other 2 black students in the class, constantly, every day, always picking on us. She doesn't bother anybody else.
Okay, always picking on us doesn't tell me anything. Give me some examples, give me some statements, give me some actions that lead you to the conclusion that she's picking on you.
There was one situation where me and the other black students were talking about books that were being banned across the country, and she brought up Huckleberry Finn, and while she was discussing it, she said she didn't understand why my people get offended when white people say the N-word. And then she proceeded to just say it multiple times throughout the day after that. And I told her, like, she can't say that, that's rude. And she said, since nobody died, then it's not offensive for a white person to say it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's one instance, but you said she picks on you all the time, so you gotta give me more than that.
Every time there's a situation going on in class, like if somebody's being disruptive or if something happens, like she finds notes on her desk and she's always blaming it on me as if I'm the one who's doing it and it's not me.
Okay, but you said just you. Is it you and the other 2 black girls or just you?
Just me.
Okay, so,
Well, she
so
picked
she
on the
doesn't
other
seem to
black
have
girls,
it in for
but-
you. She may have it in for you.
Possibly.
Okay. Mr. Gardner, step forward again. Because you in your statement made the same complaint that it appears that Ms. McGee has a problem with your child and she is picking on your child. Now tell me why you believe that.
Well, I think that from the very beginning, she's had a problem with my daughter. My daughter, she sometimes might not do the things that she's supposed to do or listen the way she should to her teachers, but for whatever reason, she seems to have had a problem with my daughter.
Doesn't tell me anything. Because what it says to me is that when your child doesn't listen to what she does and doesn't do what she says, that she may discipline her, or she may correct her, or she may speak to her about it. So that doesn't sound like a problem with her. It sounds like she's bringing attention to herself by not doing what she's supposed to do.
Yeah, but I just think that she picks on her.
Why?
I don't know. I think she just has it out for my daughter for some reason. I have no idea why. I don't understand why. I don't know what it is. My daughter's a sweet young lady. She's trying to get herself into college, and for whatever reason, it just seems as though she keeps picking on my daughter.
I hate when parents use that word. She picks on my daughter. Seems to keep picking on her because your daughter seems to keep getting in trouble.
My daughter is
You
sweet
don't
as an
think
angel.
your daughter gets in trouble?
I back her 100%. She's sweet as an angel.
Ooh, she got you fooled. Sit down. Sweet as an angel. I back her 100%. I can tell by that smile on your daughter's face that she a sneaky little thing and does quite a lot of little things that she shouldn't do. Now, but I'm gonna get over here to you, Ms. McGee, because she made a comment that she made in her testimony that you all were talking about the book Huckleberry Finn, and you made the statement that what's wrong with the N-word and why do you, quote, your people get so upset with that? Everybody should have a right to use that word. Do you recall making such a statement?
I didn't make that statement,
She just
Judge.
made it up.
She twisted a situation around.
Okay, you tell me from your words.
I'll tell you what happened. Huckleberry Finn is a book that's come under tremendous controversy
Right.
over the years. These students in the class are studying major pieces of literature to
Right.
get them ready for college. So Huckleberry Finn is one of the many pieces of literature that we're talking about. When we were going to discuss the book, I surveyed the class to let them know that this book has some 200 times an offensive word, the N-word, is used in this book. But we need to discuss whether it's racist or whether or not the author was not racist, and the implications that this book might have.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
She didn't say, "I left your notes on your desk," but there was evidence that she had, in particular because she's the only student in the class that keeps talking about my age and that I'm too old to be there.
And later,
My ex-best friend, I threw her a baby shower because she told me that I was the godmother of her child. So I felt a personal sense of responsibility.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Joseph Gardner, who is suing Sarah McGee for $1,000.
Tiffany was late to class that day. The class voted on whether or not they wanted to continue with this discussion. They had the option to say, no, they don't want to discuss Huckleberry Finn. They all voted, yes, they did want to discuss the book. The only time that I used the word was in reading a line from the book.
Okay.
The way that Huckleberry Finn had called his friend Jim. And
Okay,
so-
now there's another statement she said that on one occasion you asked and questioned, was she there on probation in the after-school program? Was she sent there as a condition of probation?
No, I did not. I did not.
You never said that.
No, and I was.
You just made that up?
No, she did say it. It was my very first day. She asked me if I was there on probation. I told her that was offensive, and she just laughed and said she was joking.
This is
Did you tell your parents about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you just might as well stand on up here. Come on back. Do you recall that?
Yes, ma'am.
Your daughter complaining about that the first day of school?
Yes, ma'am.
That the teacher asked her why was she in the program? Was she on probation? Since it was an after-school program?
Yes.
And what was your
Feel as though
response?
That's offensive. That is offensive.
And you have no recollection of that?
not only no recollection. I would never, ever say that. I had asked her to leave class early because she persisted on calling me an old hag, and she also was leaving notes, which she's now saying she wasn't necessarily the person who left them. One note said senile or Alzheimer's with a question mark. She left me suggestions on a nursing home that I might want to go to.
Now, did she leave these notes? You certain it was her?
She didn't say, "I left your notes on your desk," but there was evidence that she had, in particular because she's the only student in the class that keeps talking about my age and that I'm too old to be there.
Tell me why you took the phone.
Okay, back to that. Among the evidence that I gave you is the sign that is posted clearly throughout my classroom. That if you, and all the students know...
Use your phone, lose it, and lose it until you go home. Okay, so
Correct.
what
So
was
she was
doing?
using it, and Judge, this was not the first time.
Let me hear what your witness has to say. So you put the phone in your drawer, and the next thing you know, the phone's lost, stolen, or not there.
Well, the way that we do it is the phone goes into the door. Into the drawer until the close of the day. So then, at the close of the day, it wasn't there.
Okay.
Yes. So
And
this
what's
is-
your name?
My name's Charlotte, sorry.
Charlotte Bryant. What did you have to add to this?
Yes, ma'am. So I have witnessed Tiffany be very rude to Miss McGee.
In what manner, and what did you witness?
I've seen her put the notes on her desk. I've seen her do all of that. So I've seen her be...
You've seen
she's-
her put a piece of paper on her desk. Have you seen what the paper said?
Yes, ma'am. The
Okay.
Alzheimer's, and I've also seen her to put the retirement brochures on her desk.
Okay. But now,
Yeah.
if you took her phone and you put it in your desk drawer,
Yes.
you have now the responsibility for making sure that phone remains in that desk drawer. How did it get out of your desk drawer?
We took a break, and during the time that we were out of the classroom for a bathroom break,
All of you out of the classroom at the same time?
We generally all leave the classroom at the same time.
Well, that's poor part on your part if you're going to put students' stuff in your drawer. You said if you use it, you lose it until the end of class. So then you got to find a way to keep that under protection if you're going to take the phones from the children. You can't take their personal property away from him and not secure it safely. So both of you bear responsibility. You took it from her, you bear responsibility to make sure it gets back to her, because you know that phone, you know the parents are paying for those things when you take it from them. So you should have had a safe or a desk that locked. You shouldn't have had the phone in the first place out using it so she wouldn't have to take it. So you're responsible, you're responsible. So I'm going to order you to pay half, because poor Mr. Gardner is the only one out of money. So I'm going to order you to pay $500 for the cost of that telephone, and I see your mouth is about to drop open, and why?
It never would have been taken from her.
I just said she bears responsibility. I know that. That's why I said she bears responsibility. It never would have been taken from her if she weren't on it. That's her responsibility. It never would have gotten stolen if you didn't put it in your drawer unlocked. That's your responsibility.
Exactly.
Now you got it?
Understood.
If you're going to take children's property from them, you have to ensure that they can get that property back. And I understand why you do it, but you can't do it and then when the phone is gone later on or whatever, say, oops, I don't know what happened. And you can't, everyone out of the classroom at the same time, and you have things in your drawer that you've taken from kids, and you know that, that's not very smart either and very wise on your part. No. You should have left someone responsible, perhaps this person, and said, I'm going to take my restroom break. You know? And I've never known a teacher to leave out and go take on a restroom break anyway, during class.
Yeah, when you get old.
Then you better find somebody to monitor your desk. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $500.
I feel as though you're responsible for the full cost of my daughter's phone.
Would you be involved also? That would help the rest of the year go much smoothly.
Just email me any problems you're having with her.
Coming up,
He told me that he didn't want the baby anymore. He stormed out, so I stormed out. I left. I went to her, a good friend, to console. She told me that she would throw me the baby shower.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
In the matter of Stacey Harris versus Brittany Daniels, Ms. Harris, you're suing Ms. Daniels, a former friend. You're saying that she deceived you into paying for her baby shower and demoted you from being godmother several weeks after the child was born. Your defense is, I have a right to do that. I can demote her as godmother. Let me hear what you have to say.
Yeah, so my ex-best friend, I threw her a baby shower because she told me that I was the godmother of her child. So I felt a personal sense of responsibility. So she was in a really tumultuous relationship, and she had come to me in a really dark time. In that moment, she had said to me, because you're the godmother of my child, you need to, what are we doing about this baby shower?
And you accepted when she said that?
Yes.
You were excited and wanted to be the godmother?
Absolutely. The next 2 weeks I devoted to making sure she had the best baby shower of her life.
How many months pregnant? What was the pregnancy level? Where were you then?
I was 7 months pregnant at the time.
7 months.
She was only godmother for 1 month.
So did you say, because you're the godmother of this child, what are you going to do about the baby shower?
Yes.
And what did you mean by what was she going to do about the baby shower?
The father of the child was originally going to throw me the baby shower, and we had a large fight. He told me that he didn't want the baby anymore. He stormed out, so I stormed out. I left. I went to her, a good friend, to console, and she told me that she would throw me the baby shower.
No, you went to her and said, go on.
I did say, since you are the godmother, because at the time it only seemed like the right choice.
Why did it seem like the right choice then?
She was the only friend I could lean on at the time.
Coming up,
Shortly after the baby shower, the father of the child came to me and apologized for the fight, apologized for everything he'd done wrong, and promised to make it better.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Stacey Harris, who is suing Brittany Daniels for the cost of a baby shower.
she seemed the ideal person to be the godmother.
Yes.
And because she was a good friend that you had leaned on for 5 years.
Yes.
So why suddenly she's no
Because-
longer an ideal person to be the godmother?
Yes. So shortly after the baby shower, the father of the child came to me and apologized for the fight, apologized for everything he'd done wrong, and promised to make it better. And I would do anything in my power to ensure that every child has a chance at a stable home. And so when he came to me ready to apologize, I accepted.
Was this before or after the baby was born?
Before, about a month before the baby was born.
So right after she gave the baby shower?
Yes.
When he ran out and said, I'm not going to give the baby shower?
Yes. And I would do anything for Olivia, my child. So I did what I could, and I got back together with him. But I knew that she would not approve, so that is why I did not tell her. And then that is why I demoted her from godmother because he doesn't like her, because he knows that she doesn't like him.
Now, what is your position on that? She said she moved you out as godmother because she knew that you didn't like the father and didn't approve of the fact that she had gone back to the father and couldn't treat the father with respect. So therefore, she knew it would be a very uneasy relationship for you to be godmother. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I wouldn't want to go back to this situation. I was so supportive of her throughout the ups and downs of her pregnancy, and I was trying to
It sounds like throughout the ups and downs before pregnancy, too.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Yes,
5
Your Honor.
years?
Yeah,
How
5
long
years.
had you been going with the father?
2 years.
Yeah, so for 2 years you were in that up and down.
Yes, absolutely. And they had just moved in together right before the baby came.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
You named a woman who'd been your friend for 5 years, who'd always been there for you through thick and thin, through your ups and downs, and suddenly now you don't want her to be there, and she's your best friend, but you dismiss her as godmother all of a sudden.
Yes.
So that doesn't sound like to me you acting in the best interest of your child. Here's a woman who's proved to you that I'm there for you. It wasn't a thought, it was a fact, because she had proven herself to be a friend for 5 years. This is proof over thinking.
His cousin Lana has children that Olivia could grow up with.
But you don't
she
know
doesn't
anything
have
about her.
children. Not closely, but he did. And if he
But
trusts
you
her, then I
didn't have
trust
a
her.
relationship with her before.
No, ma'am.
So you don't know what kind of woman she is with children, really. I think you gamed on her because you knew she was a friend. You knew she would help you, a damsel in distress. You knew she would give you that baby shower. You didn't want to be embarrassed and not have a baby shower when the baby's father had walked out, so you ran to your friend to do it. You call her godmother, having her believe that that's what you're going to appoint her as at the child's birth, and then suddenly dismiss her. That's not fair. That's not right. That's wrong. Totally wrong. So pay her back. You don't want to be the godmother, then you and the father who don't like her, but you liked her enough to take her money, give her back her money. Judgment for the plaintiff, $538.93.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $538.93.
I'm sorry it had to go this way, but I wish you the best.
I think it's unfortunate you're making me pay back this money when you know I'm struggling with a child, and I hope you never see me in the future.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.